all that good stuff. And then I fell for, almost fell for a lot of the fear mongering that we were getting about don't go. They're going to, certain groups are going to come after you. It's a setup. That was my first lobby day. I loved it. It was such an awesome experience. Lots of camaraderie. I mean, I've never met that many people. And when you get there, it's like you see all this patriotism and I say patriotism along the lines of actual patriot, liberty loving people, not necessarily political aspects, even though some people did politicize it. But it was just, it was so cold out there, but you totally forgot about you were freezing to death and your hands are, like stuck in your pockets. People were just amazing. I mean, it was just so many people from all over the country and different stories, different walks of life, different backgrounds. I believe there was this one gentleman that I met who was there for, he was part of a veterans movement, and he was from Texas. There was another lady and her husband had traveled from Oregon. I mean, it's just so cool to meet all of these people, and you forget that firearms were even involved after. You knew your purpose there, but you were there to meet Americans. It was just awesome.
Yeah, when I
wish we could do it again, before January.
Yeah,
we need to have that same next year.
There were some other gun rallies that were supposed to be taking place, but with the whole pandemic thing, I think a lot of them have gotten canceled. My event got canceled in April because of Corona. It kind of sucked. A year of planning just to go down the drain. But what can you do?
Yeah.
What can you do? Talking about Texas. There was a few buses that came from Texas. There's some buses that came from Connecticut as well, with just full of people. New Jersey, there were a couple of buses from New Jersey that came down. It was a great event, and everyone was so nice. There was no violence. They pushed this narrative of violence were going to happen, and there was none at all.
None. I think I tell people my story. Like the day before, I was scared to death. I mean, I work now, through Mom at Arms at exposing gun control groups, propaganda, and all that good stuff. And then I almost fell for a lot of the fear mongering that we were getting about don't go. They're gonna, certain groups are gonna come after you. It's a setup. And I was like, it was to the point where I was trying my best to figure out an excuse not to go, but I sucked it up. I was like, you know what? No, because that's just me falling into the same thing that, these groups want us to do. If I go, I go. I mean, and if something happens, the groups that I went with had plans, and we had all had each other's backs. So that was amazing to me, but it's very fortunate and awesome that we didn't have to put those plans into play. But we had a good time. It was like going to a fair, like a carnival, like a festival or of some sort. I mean, it was just fascinating. There were children there. I even said to my lobby day buddy, I was like, I wish I brought my kid. I mean, he was only 3. I mean, yeah, he just turned 3 at the time. And I was like, man, this would be so cool for him. He would just, there were kids younger than him there. I mean, it was just amazing. It's just so neat. I wish the media didn't portray it as something that it wasn't. It was actually something that was just amazing. It was unification of many, many people many walks of life coming together for one cause, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant, and put together fantastically. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, the lobby day in Virginia was something that I've never seen before. I've been to a lot of lobby days, and it's usually
Hmm.
like a couple hundred people at most. This was like
Hmm.
thousands and thousands of people, and the streets were totally full. The Capitol was totally surrounded, and for all the discussion of all this violence that was going to happen, there wasn't any. And in fact, that was probably the safest place in the country at that day. Yeah.
It was. I thought that's what I thought when I was there. I was like, when we park the bus, when we get off the bus, of course we see like people walking. It was early and cold, and you see lines of people going to the Capitol building. But it was just, I mean, when you got around the corner and you saw everyone else that was there already, it was mind-boggling. I was blown away. I was like, I have not been around this many people ever in my entire life, and it was just so cool to see, and I wish that there was I mean, even though it was an open invite to everyone throughout the country, I mean, I just wish that these gun grabbing politicians as well as these groups could have seen it firsthand, because from what I understand, many of the Virginia gun control pro gun control leaders were not even around. Um, and that saddened me the most, when you have people like Amanda Chase and Nick Freitas and his wife, and and all these other pro gun leaders just walking out in the crowd, just saying, "Hey, how you doing? It's great to have you here. I'm so glad to hear you're here and you're putting your voice to work." And it was amazing. That was the depressing part, was not having the gun control leaders there to actually feel that atmosphere.
Yeah, Nick Freitas actually, one of the cool things that he did is he actually went out into the crowd and gave a speech. It's on my YouTube channel, so if anybody wants to watch it, just head over there. You can watch his speech. It was amazing. He gave a speech up on stage, but he also went out to the people and he said, "I'm going out to the people because I want." It looks like comments are starting to come through now. Hey, Kathleen out there. Because he wanted to reach out to the people and be with the people and to show that he wasn't afraid. Lobby Day did make a difference. Lobby Day was the reason why the assault weapons ban, or assault firearms ban, I guess, uh, would it did not pass. If you look to Chap Peterson, he said it was because of Lobby Day that made a lot of them rethink their stance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a
I mean,
great,
just
great day.
that to me and it solidified a lot of the things that I have said my entire life, even though I've been more public and with um, my experiences and getting into this activism. I grew up around firearms. I used to tell everybody that if you know growing up in the area that I did, where firearms were pretty much everywhere all the time. I mean, I can remember going to high school and the guys had them, in their trucks, gun racks and stuff like that. I tell these gun control people, especially the younger ones, if that's the case, then I should not be here right now. I mean, like, if something was going to pop off, as they say, then I wouldn't be here trying my best to get a different viewpoint across, rather than what they have been so in I've brainwashed is the only word that I can come up with, but that's pretty much it now. So, but Lobby Day, I'm glad that we broke the narrative with the assault weapons ban, and that's fantastic. I mean, If we can do that, we can continue to do. I mean, we can really make a big difference in all these others that they're pushing.